Welcome back to Hi Fam, I'm Avital. It might sound a little strange given that motherhood could be seen as the epitome of femininity. But one of the things I noticed about myself over the years is that in my motherhood itself, in taking care of my children and raising them, I often finding myself in pretty extreme masculine energy. Why is that a problem and what do I even mean and what can we do about it? All that and more in today's video. Hey, welcome back to the Hi Fam channel. I'm so pleased to have you here. And I would love to ask you to just hit the subscribe button and the like, and make sure to leave a comment below. Tell me what your key takeaway was from this video or request future topics from me. That really helps me with the algorithms to reach more parents just like you. So thank you. Today, we're going to be talking about masculine versus feminine energy in parenting. And particularly, I'm going to be talking about my own expression of masculine and feminine energy and why I think it's really valuable for us mothers to reclaim our feminine energy. So why do we step into such masculine energy in one of the areas of life that you could think of as the most feminine, which is mothering, right? Taking care of our children. Just the fact of being pregnant, of giving birth, of breastfeeding, or becoming a parent through adoption or surrogacy, etc. The fact of taking care of a child, the fact of holding a baby, of feeding a baby, nurturing is a highly feminine trait, right? And remember, I'm not particularly talking about men and women here, but rather masculine and feminine energies, although these do typically map on to men and women. I'm talking about the masculine energy within ourselves as mothers that can sometimes take over and lead us into a very particular stance. So what is that masculine energy and how does it manifest? Well, masculine energy is typically illustrated as an energy that's about go-getting, right? Getting things done, taking care of business. It's that hunting energy. It's the energy that knows how to identify a target, get a clear goal, and then take the steps, take action towards achieving that goal. It's about having our to-do lists and checking them off. It's about being goal-oriented. It's about being solutions-oriented. It's about fixing things. It's also the energy of provision, right? It's the energy that goes out and gets the kill for the whole tribe. It gets the game and it feeds everybody, right? It's about bringing home the bacon. It's about making money. It's about providing for our families. And then it's also about protection, right? Ensuring the safety of people, being brave, being courageous, being willing to kind of face down dragons to save your people, to save the more vulnerable people in your tribe. And that sense of being willing to brave, the forces of nature and put yourself out there, that's that very masculine protective sense. Now, maybe you're already detecting the pattern here, but one of the things I noticed within myself was that all of these kind of masculine traits came into play in a very powerful way, actually, in my mothering. First of all, I had to take care of business. I had to have schedules, be organized, be moving heavy things, be lifting babies, carrying babies all day, and kind of be physically and emotionally strong. I also needed to be very goal-oriented. I have a lot to take care of. I need to take care of my household, take care of my children, take care of myself, and I have a job or my business. And so I had to really be very mindful of organization, of being goal-oriented, of being a bit of a taskmaster in some ways. And that kind of clear solution orientation and that taskmaster energy is necessary when you're a mother. You are running things. You need to be, mindful of time management, of resource management, of getting things done, of deadlines, of long lists of things that you have to do. Also, if you are working outside the home, inside the home, whatever type of working you're doing, you're very aware and very energized towards providing for your family and making sure that you're providing financially. If you're not working and providing financially, you're probably still in that energy because you're thinking about providing in other ways or about managing the finances and making sure that you are not overspending your family's resources and that you're being a good steward of the family finances. So you're still thinking about things like budget, and you're thinking about things like what you're spending and what you're saving and what you're being frugal about and what you're being, carefree about. And you're really in that mindset as an adult, as a parent, as a mother. Furthermore, you're providing nourishment all the time, right? You're making food, you're serving your children, you're serving them through all of your household work as well, their laundry, the cleaning, the shopping, the taking care of making sure that everybody has everything they need. That is that provision kind of energy, right? Where you're out there making sure everybody has what they need to be okay. And then you're also very protective as a mother, right? Mothers are sometimes overprotective. We're constantly thinking about our children's health and well-being and the doctor's visits and the graphs and the charts and the measurements and the vitamins and the sleep. And we are very aware of our children's development, of risks out there, of predation, of falling, of anything, right? We're just constantly thinking about protecting them, about buying the right car seat and the right stroller and the right shoes and the right beds and making sure that our children are taken care of, provided for, and protected. Now, all of that sounds like very good parenting, and it is, and it's necessary, but it's also very hardcore masculine energy. So it's surprising in a way, but yes, as mothers, we're very much in that masculine energy, and it comes through in other ways as well. And I'm going to discuss those a little bit here. I want to make a pitch to you, if you're a mother and you're watching this and you feel like, yes, that's exactly me, that there is another side of mothering that I want to bring back, because it makes mothering so much more fun and less exhausting for as women, as feminine creatures. And that is stepping back or reclaiming our feminine energy. So many of my students tell me, Avital, I don't even remember the last time I felt feminine, that I was in my feminine energy. I'm always in those energies that you just said. I'm always providing. I'm always protecting. I'm always directing. I'm always goal-oriented and mission-oriented. I'm always kind of driving the ship, right? I'm always in the driver's seat, making the decisions and taking on that leadership role. And frankly, it's a little bit exhausting. Sometimes I just wish I could rest, but I can't, because then I feel guilty and I need to do other things. And, it just kind of gets this overwhelming sense that there is no other way. So take a deep breath with me here, because I want to offer you another energy that you could introduce into your parenting. I'm not going to be able to take away all of those masculine tasks that you have to do. Although if you do have a masculine partner, it would be lovely to offload some of that to him. And I think he would probably thrive as a result as well. Giving more of the responsibilities over to your children's father, to your partner, is sometimes that he may often welcome and feel really useful and needed, and help him to step into his masculine energy, which might be great for him and great for you. But that is not the main point that I want to make in today's video. Actually, in today's video, I want to focus on the ways that you yourself can increase your feminine energy, even as a mother who is busy, and maybe you're a mom boss. A lot of responsibility is riding on your shoulders. Now, why is this important? Why do you want to increase your feminine energy? Well, for most of us, we need to be in a balance between our masculine and our feminine in order to feel joyful, in order to feel healthy and vibrant, and in order to have the energy to keep going. When we are leaning too much into our masculine energy, for most of us, that's very exhausting, and it makes it really hard for us to replenish ourselves and to simply enjoy our life. Now, one of my main missions is to help you to enjoy parenting, right? To love parenting and to parent from a place of love. And you can't do that if you're feeling really like you've been kind of squashed into this role that you don't fit into, like you're a round peg in a square hole type of thing. If you are feeling like you are constantly operating out of this energy that is a little bit more foreign to you, or a little bit more forced, or perhaps just more taxing, like it's just more costly and less energy efficient for you, then you will find that stepping into feminine energy makes the whole ride a lot smoother. And I actually think this is so overlooked in parenting. We so often talk about solutions between us and our children, about parenting skills, about communication skills, and we so seldom talk about our internal energy, what we're exuding, what we're bringing to the day, what we're bringing into the room, how we're showing up to our lives. Speaking of showing up, I have an incredible bonus for you called Showing Up, all about how to show up to your day. And that comes for free when you join Reclaim Play. So make sure to head on over and check out the Reclaim Play course, because that is absolutely going to help you to increase your feminine energy, is when your children are playing independently and you have time to rest. Which brings me directly into our first point, and that is self-care. I know this isn't a shocker. This isn't some amazing, fascinating, mind-blowing point that you've never heard before, but it's worth lingering on here. And I do have a video all about self-care for parents, and it's something I talk about often. It's something I'm pretty passionate about, because I feel that it is just basic common sense that we need to invest in our well-being and in how we show up to our day in order to be able to withstand this marathon that is parenting, right? It's a long haul game. It's not just a one and done. And if we want to be able to continue to show up for this in our best way, to bring our A game, then we need to have self-care established in our lives. Now, I'm not just talking about bubble baths with petals and champagne, although if you could swing that, go for it. I'm actually talking about a regular routine of taking care of our mind, body, and soul. This is a highly feminine energy. Feminine energy is a lot about really taking care of yourself, taking care of your health, about luxuriating, about pampering, about enjoying the delicacies and the beauty in life, even when those seem superfluous or like a luxury. It's about putting on earrings even though you're not going anywhere today, or wearing something that's soft and feels amazing on your skin. It could be about external looks and about making sure that you love the way your hair looks, your face looks, the clothes that you're wearing, etc. But it doesn't need to be about wearing a full face of makeup or 9-inch heels to start your day. It means that you wear things that you feel good in. You're not in clothes that have spit up from the night before. You're not wearing pajamas solid days before having a shower. It means that sense of washing your face, of feeling fresh, of feeling that you, yes, you watching this, are worth taking care of. You are worthy of spending some time on yourself. You're worthy of doing those things that make you feel beautiful, that make you feel feminine, that make you feel energized, that make you feel just that joy of being in the moment, of being present, of actually experiencing the self-love and the attention that you put on yourself as well. Self-care is about signaling to yourself that you are worthy and feeling worthy and, stepping into that feminine beauty, that feminine energy, that feminine joy. Those are all feminine traits. And so if you want to feel more femininity in your parenting, if you want to come more energized to your kids, if you want to feel more joyful and relaxed and chilled, less uptight and task-oriented and stressed, then taking care of yourself is going to be maybe the biggest thing that you can do in order to step back into your feminine energy. Now, I could make 6 videos about this point along, but I want to move on so that I'm sure to cover it all. But I would love to hear, what are the things that you could do to feel more feminine on a day-to-day basis? Maybe it's as simple as putting on a bit of lip gloss, or just putting some cream on your face, or lighting your favorite candle in the home that really brings you a lot of joy. What is self-care for you? Maybe it's about switching off and going to bed 2 hours earlier and getting that beauty sleep that makes you feel really energized and lovely and fresh in the morning. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear. And if you have any questions on this, let me know that as well so that I can know to answer them in future videos. Number 2 is all about sisterhood. Femininity is a lot about connection and bonding and being open to other people. It's about relationships. That feminine energy is a lot about being receptive, about listening, about sharing vulnerably. It's about what happens in our friendships, in our communities, in our village. Many of us are parenting in a silo. We're parenting in isolation, and isolation is endemic in our society. So many people suffer from a sense of loneliness, and sadly, it's how we parent today. But this kind of lone wolf, go at it alone, superwoman type of mindset is highly masculine. Masculine energy is all about can do, don't need nobody's help, I've got this, taking on more and more responsibility, being stronger and stronger yourself. And there is a place for that. And I'm certainly like that in many ways in my life. However, if you want to introduce more ease and joy and feminine energy into your parenting, you've got to accept help and support. You've got to reach out and create a sense of community. You've got to be more vulnerable and more willing to share with your neighbors and friends and sisters. It's about creating those meaningful relationships with other women who maybe can give you advice, maybe camaraderie, maybe support or empathy. Maybe it's about connecting with older women like your mother or your grandmother or your aunt who could give you some, words of wisdom, some pearls that they have gathered throughout the years. Or maybe it's just about reconnecting with your bestie and making sure that you have long chats where you really get to spill everything that's on your heart, be seen, be heard, and do the same for her. This is one of those feminine traits that really flies out the window when we become parents because we don't have much time. We feel time poor. We feel like, well, now all my energy needs to go on my work and my kids, and that's pretty much it, right? And we don't have time beyond that. But whilst you're cleaning the house, perhaps, or whilst you're going on your walk, or maybe, yes, you actually do have time and make a bit of time for this. Maybe you can, grab a coffee with a friend, sit out in nature, just to expand on the feminine theme, right? Mother Nature and everything that she offers is always going to expand our sense of femininity. So that is a great way of reconnecting with your feminine energy, is reconnecting with your friends, with other women, with a sense of sisterhood, sense of being supported. Do you feel lonely, or do you have that deep sisterhood with other women? I'd love to hear. Let me know in the comments below. Number 3, the third way of increasing your feminine energy as a mother is to stop barking orders. I want you to be less of a drill sergeant and to start expressing your desires in a more vulnerable and feminine way. One of the things that happens when we're running a home is that we start to be a director. We start to be issuing commands and expecting obedience. And again, that's a very masculine energy. The idea of just getting it done, the idea of the hierarchy, the idea of to-do lists that we all need to be mission-oriented. And now I'm here, doling out the orders. Now, there's a place for that, of course, and there's a lot of positive to all of these masculine traits, and we need them in our home. Of course we do. We need to be in a position of authority. There needs to be a sense of hierarchy. There needs to be a to-do list and goals, and we need to meet those. However, you might be feeling this sense of exhaustion, or like, I don't really like myself when I'm just here, telling everybody what to do all the time. You might also feel like you wear the pants in the house and you're the leader and you're the boss, and it's sometimes not the best feeling. Sometimes it really is the opposite of that like easeful, chill, fun, playful feeling that maybe you want to embody more of. I don't know, just saying, maybe. I know for me, when I'm too much in that driver's seat and when I'm barking too many orders at everyone, I get a bit of a headache. I just don't like myself very much. It's not how I want to be perceived. It's not how I think of myself. It's not the energy I'd like to bring to the room. And so once in a while, that's necessary, but I want to ask you if maybe you could start to express yourself in a more gentle way, using a more gentle voice, using a more warm and calm demeanor, using more playfulness, using more of a chilled environment. Now, with kids, sometimes we have to be very clear about what we want, but we can still be very warm. We can still be playful. We can still be kind of sweet with it, right? Kind. And that might feel more soft, more feminine, more gentle. Now, I still want you to be firm. I still want you to be clear. I still want you to be a leader. I still want you to set clear boundaries and empathic limits for your children. But I want you to do so with a slightly softer touch and to feel a little bit more kind of less stress in your body, less holding in those muscles, right? Less clenching of the jaw, less triggered, more soft and relaxed. One of the ways to do this is also to change the words we're saying from direct orders, which is very masculine, to expressing our desires. Oh, I'd love to see it clean in here. Or I'd really like to get out on time. Or I'd be so happy to see you get your shoes on independently now, right? Just things that you are saying, I have a desire, here's my desire. And I'm not saying, please do this, do that, do the other. I'm saying rather, here's what I would want. It's a more passive, more vulnerable, more perhaps honest or authentic way of just saying, here's what I would like to see, and allowing other people to rise to the occasion. Now, it's not always going to work with your children every time. I'm not suggesting that you never make direct requests, but speaking in a little bit more of a passive way, in a little bit more of a relaxed way, and in a warmer way is really going to help. And certainly with your partner, that's going to create much, much better results. And I explore this in depth inside of the membership. If you want to know more about those masculine and feminine energies, that's something I cover in depth. If you join the studio and you join the Desire Lab, you know all about that. But putting that to one side, I just want to say here that the idea is to express your desires rather than give orders, right? To say what you'd like and to allow other people to meet your needs. Sit back, be receptive, lean back a little bit more, relax a little bit more, receive a little bit more, rather than controlling, rather than going out there and getting the hunt and making sure that it happens and taking control. Put a desire out into the space and then sit back and allow it to come to you. And this is that feminine kind of magnetic energy, the feminine energy that attracts what she wants rather than going out and getting it, right? It's the masculine that goes out and gets it, and the feminine that sits back, receives, and attracts it. And so maybe in our parenting, we can practice this a little bit more as well. Like, I would love for us to do our homework together now. And then you sit down and you open the book and you wait for the child to come to you. Let's experiment with it. Who knows? Maybe it's going to work. Certainly, it's going to save us a lot of exhaustion and some headaches, right? Number 4 is introducing more playfulness into your life as a parent. Yes, playfulness is a highly feminine energy. It's that sense of being delighted, of being lighthearted, of taking yourself lightly, of taking life kind of light and easygoing and chill and fun. It's about joy. It's about pleasure. It's about having a laugh, having a giggle. When was the last time that you belly laughed, that you giggled with your kids, that you just smiled, that you had fun, that you erupted into a dance party? Maybe it was this morning. I hope it was. But the idea is that you bring a lot more playfulness into your life. Now, you know that I don't advocate for you playing with your children all the time. I don't think you need to entertain them. I don't think you should be doing this because they're whining, "Mommy, please play mermaids with me." You don't need to sit down and do the Lego and do the dolls and everything. You don't have to. In fact, I'm an advocate for independent play, for children playing independently, and that's your time to relax, to do your stuff, to get what you need to do done. You know that that's what I believe. I teach that in depth in my course, Reclaim Play. You can go and check it out right now. I'll put the link somewhere around this video. But my point here is for you to come into the day with more playfulness, to come into your children with more playfulness. Like, if you're cooking, put on your favorite music and dance while you're cooking. Delight in the cooking. Have fun with it. Tell jokes. At dinner, enjoy the meal. Make it fun. Make it playful. In your parenting itself, can you be more playful? Instead of barking orders or instead of even expressing your desires passively, can you express them in a playful way? Can you make it into a game? Can you get into character and say it in a silly voice? Can you make it as, some kind of race against the clock that you're all going to do? Can you be really like contrary and silly? Like, no, you're going to put your shoes on? I don't believe it. I can't believe it. You would never put your shoes on, right? Can you make it funny and silly and light-hearted? Because the masculine energy is a more serious energy, right? It's like, get stuff done, being the boss. But the feminine energy has time. It's more easeful. It's more playful. It's more fun. It's more joyful. It has that bright, warm smile on its face. And that's what I want to invite you to bring more of into your parenting. And you'll find parenting less of a chore, more fun, really a lot more joyful for yourself. Plus, playful parenting is so powerful for children as well. And I highly recommend Dr. Lawrence Cohen's book, Playful Parenting. I will link that below because it's just brilliant in teaching us exactly the types of tools to use as playful parents. I also cover this in one of my bonuses in my Empathic Limits course. If you're a member of that course, you can find it there. And this is something that we cover in depth and that we go over in many different ways throughout my various courses and even inside of Reclaim Play. So I teach this extensively. I'm not going to linger on it here, but I want to just say bringing in playful parenting is incredibly effective at setting limits and working with kids through transitions and through, expectations. It's by no means permissive parenting. It's not about not, telling your children that they need to do certain things or following through on your boundaries, but it's doing so in a lighthearted and really fun way, which kids absolutely respond to very, very well. And my final point for today here, although there are so many more I could cover, so let me know if you want a part 2 on this, is sensuality. The feminine is about stopping to smell the roses, right? It's about creating a nest and a home that is high vibe. And I want you to check out my videos on how to create a high vibe home, how to create a sophisticated home, even when you have little children at home. But the idea here is that you want a home that is really pleasurable to you, that really answers your sensual needs, right? Has beautiful scents, like maybe you're infusing essential oils, or maybe you're using incense, or just maybe fresh herbs. Maybe it's about objects of beauty, right? For your visual sense to be really met with something that you love, that brings you joy. Maybe it's about luxuriating more, lying on your couch more, lying in a hammock, going outside, wearing things that you love, right? I want you to really think about your 5 senses and how you can answer them. What feels good? What smells good? What tastes good? What looks good? What sounds good? Can you play amazing music that's very relaxing? All of these things are highly feminine energies of creating this really beautiful and sensual environment that makes you want to be there, that evokes certain emotions and feelings of joy or of pleasure or of relaxation or of calm, chill, that type of thing. And that's very feminine, right? And many of us are so busy in the masculine, just getting everything done, that we don't take the time to add those feminine touches, to make a house a home, to make ourselves feel pleasurable. But these things are very, very powerful, and they actually trigger our brains to be more relaxed, to be more happy, to enjoy our life more. And that's worthwhile. It's great for us. It's great for our children. It's great for our family on the whole. So to sum it up, I want to warmly invite you to reduce a little bit of that masculine energy and increase your feminine energy to feel more energized in your parenting, to feel more joyful, to feel more at ease, to feel more chilled. And think about anything that you do, whether it's a family meal, a family outing, doing homework together, doing chores together, anything that you could do to infuse it with more of the feminine energy. So think about the self aspect, think about the support and the community, the relationships and the bonding. Think about ways of making it more sensual and more pleasurable for you. Think about ways of making it more playful and fun and joyful. And think about ways of you yourself showing up a little bit softer, a little bit more gentle, a little bit more receptive, a little bit less about being critical and controlling, which is very masculine, and instead being supportive, being encouraging, being vulnerable, being trusting, and sharing your desires. I'd love to hear which one you're going to be working on this week in the comments below. Meanwhile, keep on living that high fam life, and I'll see you in the next video.